this is beautiful. Yeah, I think the furniture is so much more modern than I would have expected.
Two bedrooms.
Whoa, this is way more elevated. Okay. So we'll just note quick, it's a small cabin and homestead, so I assume that people live here full time. I have no idea what this looks like on the interior. The thumbnail is just a snippet, I think, of the spiral staircase, so I was really curious about that because I love spiral staircases, so I'm excited. Oh, it's cute. Oh, it's cute. It's a little bit more quaint looking. Like the inside from the thumbnail made it look like it was going to be a little bit more trendier, but from the exterior, it just looks very like humble and cute. I like it.
Life inside, to me personally, feels very unnatural. There's something about it, sitting behind a computer at a desk sitting down is just not human. And so when you're outside, when you're standing, when your feet are in the earth, there's a connection to something that's so natural, so real, that's greater than us as human beings.
And I think they said that they had this cabin sitting on 3 acres, which, I mean, I don't own property myself, but based off of my research on it, a lot of recommendations for first-time homesteaders are less than 5 acres. And that's a good starting point, because I do think once you get to a certain size of land, I think that it starts to become a lot to manage, especially if you're coming from the city and you've never lived rural before. I think it's overwhelming. So I think it's a good, like a really, really good starting point.
We've got a cool setup with an outdoor bathtub as well that we built when we first got here, a wood-fired one, so that's gets us outside, you know, rather than being in the bathroom inside. So
many tiny houses that we watch on this channel have outdoor tubs, and I love it. I want one so bad.
It's a nice feature because we can do it all year round. You can hop in the warm bath and the steam coming up, it's beautiful.
And we also love utilizing our fire pits that we have, so sometimes it's just nice to sit around it with friends, but we also use it to cook over, and we have a nice little setup that goes over it.
Do you purchase your own wood? Because 3 acres is not very large, so in my head, I don't feel like 3 acres is wooded or treed enough to log sustainably. So I wonder at what point that gets kind of expensive, or if wood is a little bit cheaper if you're more in a rural location. I don't know the answer to that. Wow.
So this is the entrance.
Okay, the interior is so much more impressive. Like the exterior just makes it seem so much more unassuming, but I love the wood on the ceiling. I love the spiral staircase. It feels so much more like lifted and open from the inside in this interior shot than it does from the outside. The outside just feels like unassuming. It looks like it would be a lot more like a darker feeling. So this is beautiful.
A few bits of storage. Cupboard's really handy actually. We can put just about everything.
I love that they have storage at the front door here too. Sometimes with the smaller like homes that I've seen, they forego the front door closet storage. And maybe it's just, again, I'm from Canada, so we have winter for a lot of the year. And so we don't take our shoes off in the house, and we have big bulky jackets and stuff. So to have a space like this, especially when you're more rural and you're doing things outdoors and you get muddy and stuff, having this I think is pretty much mandatory. So I love to see this.
It's just a nice square open space and opens up into the ceiling above, into the rooms, and with the spiral staircase, it's got a nice cozy cabin feel about it when you first walk on in. So
it's super cute. It's super cute and cozy. I think the furniture is so much more like modern and trendier than I would have expected. I was kind of expecting more of like a cottagecore kind of quaint vibe, but this is like really beautiful.
Cool feature we have here too, we can hang a screen down for a projector. The house is just long enough that it can fit this in. We put the projector here, we've got the length. It's far enough back, but it's this extra cool feature of being able to watch a movie on the big screen with some popcorn.
That's my favorite part. I love how many small spaces I see incorporate projectors, because I think it's really nice to not design your space around staring at a screen, but still having the option to take one out if you want to. If it's raining or if it's cold outside, it is still nice to have. So I love this. I love this a lot.
The reason that we really decided to go with a small cabin rather than a tiny house was we realized that for my husband and I as a couple, it was probably going to be too small, in order to do things such as hosting people to come over, having our family and friends to sleep in the space if they want to come for the weekend, and also just having enough space to store all of our stuff. Those were kind of concerns of ours of living in a tiny house rather than a small cabin.
I appreciate the self-awareness for this, honestly. I do think that deciding to move smaller requires a lot of self-reflection in what your needs and what your values are for yourself and your things. It's definitely, tiny house living is not for everyone. I do think that a lot of the concerns can be addressed through good design, but the hosting, having people over, it's definitely so much easier when you're in a conventional space. Again, I appreciate the self-awareness a lot. Look at how unassuming this exterior is. It just feels kind of like a lakeside cabin or something. Maybe it's just because the wood looks so much more aged, and maybe because the steps appear to be unfinished, just with the underneath kind of being exposed. So that's why maybe it's so surprising when you look at the interior, you're like, whoa, this is way more elevated.
So over here is our dining area and also the space that we use to work. And since it is a small cabin, we like that the table is multifunctional or the space is multifunctional.
It's really nice to have space for a table like this. Just in our house now, we have a 950 square foot bungalow, but how it's configured or how it's laid out, there's just more cabinets than needed. And so we can't fit a table in our space. And that's something that my partner and I wouldn't miss out on if it was just us two. But I find very often when we want to invite family over, we want to invite friends over to have like a board game night or something, we're missing out on that option. If we had an outdoor space to make up for it, especially in the summer, then that wouldn't be as much of a concern. But now that it's wintertime, it's something that I'm being very aware of. Again, just being self-aware about what your needs are from your space and what you want to do with it, because if you are just planning on living tiny and you aren't really going to have a lot of company over, it's not really something that you need. Or you can have another space on your property. There's a lot of tiny house builders that will have a second tiny house or like an extension that serves a secondary purpose, like a guest space or a gathering space. That's an option as well. So there's ways that you can solve it. But again, I think that a lot of times the table or the seating space gets ex-nayed in a small space, but it's really nice to have.
So this is our kitchen.
What a
and
pretty
the reason that we
kitchen.
love the kitchen is it's really big if you look at the square footage of the kitchen compared to the rest of the house.
This is a really nice kitchen. For the size of the space, I think that it's perfect. I'm a person that values cooking as well. So the butcher block counters are really, really nice. I'm curious about if this is actually tile or if it's just kind of like the rollout linoleum. But I understand why they did the tile there, because I do think if the wood floor carried through into the kitchen, especially with the butcher block counter, it might feel like a lot of wood, given that the cabinets are also kind of a dark wood tone as well. This is something that we're dealing with our kitchen design and our renovation at home. I'm curious that they don't have a backsplash, which I guess is probably just this butcher block lip that they have probably serves that purpose. But I do think if this is just exposed gypsum over time, it might get a little bit gunked up from the stuff that tends to splatter from cooking. So it might be an addition that they'll have to think about later on in the future. But I love the wood ceiling too. It's really, really nice. I'm kind of surprised that they have a microwave, but I guess because they're like on the grid, it makes sense. A lot of times small spaces will forego it and do a little toaster oven or something. So, and this is really nice having access to the back deck here, especially if there's an eating space, because then you can kind of prep your food and then just make your way directly out there. But yeah, no, it's very, very cute. Very, very cute.
So we have also a space downstairs. You kind of have to crouch down.
Oh. Ooh, I wonder how often they do their laundry. Oh, I might have tried if it were me to try and incorporate it in the upstairs somehow. I guess depending on what the height of this is, it's kind of hard to tell with the joists, but it does look like it might be a little bit of a hassle to do that.
Over in here, we have our bathroom. We have a full-size shower and also a bathtub.
I really like this floor tile a lot. The big window in the bathroom is so nice too. That's the one thing that's so nice when you live rural. You don't have to worry about being peeped upon in the bathroom. I'm so excited to see this upstairs.
Upstairs, we have two
Wow.
bedrooms. This bedroom here is my husband and I's. And we also have two drawers on both sides that pull out. And so these drawers are really nice
That's clever.
to keep our clothes when you don't have any really closet space in the bedroom.
Okay, we do have a bed, like a bed frame that is the same as this with the 2 drawers. And I can say personally, I guess I have too many clothes that I like to hang. So the drawer space is really awesome for any like folding stuff or pants, plain tops and stuff like that. But a lot of my like nicer dresses and stuff, I like to have a closet space for. I didn't really see a closet space for that on the main floor, but I don't think, given how expansive the floor plate is, I don't think it would be difficult to add a secondary closet, maybe off the bathroom or kind of maybe in tandem with storage near the front door or something. But I love I love sloped ceilings like this. I think they're so pretty. This bridge is so cute too, super cool.
So what's really nice about this extra room is that one of us can close off the canvas curtains, move the bed to the side, and set up a little desk here. And just having that other space that you can go to in the house that feels like you can be alone for a little bit is really nice.
I feel like even though this couple lives tiny, I do feel like they value space a little bit more than a lot of the other couples that we've watched with their small homes.
So the cost of the home was $160,000. So we put down $80,000 and then we took out a loan for $80,000.
Nice. Homes in America are so much cheaper than Canada. This is crazy to me, especially for 3.5 acres. I guess it depends on how remote it is, though. And that's, I guess, kind of the trade-off that I've noticed for a lot of properties. If you want to try and have the best of both worlds and live somewhere a little bit more rural, but within like less than half an hour of a urban center, it's real pricey to do that. So I don't know, I guess, much about American geography and how populated the state of Vermont is, but it would be so nice to be able to get something for that price. Again, just the size of the property too, being only 3 acres. It's kind of nice if they're new to homesteading. I see they don't have any animals or anything. It looks like they're just growing their own food at this point right now, and maybe they're vegan, so it's hard to say. But it's very cute.
We're only about 9 months into the loan. We've already paid off 20,000 of that. So we have like 60,000 left, and we will potentially be able to pay off this house in 3 more years.
Yeah, that's
quicker.
fast.
It's just smaller, you can get it down. It's just snowball. You can pay it off quicker. You get your principal down quicker, and there's just so many benefits to going small with your house, and then that brings the mortgage down. It's just exponentially beneficial financially.
Very cute, very cute, very cute, very cute. I like this a lot. It's so perfect, I guess, for the size that it is and the needs that they have. Super cute. The only thing that would trip me up just based off of my needs is just the closet space for clothes. Because the bedrooms really just have a bed. Like, they don't even have space for a dresser or anything. But I guess being mindful too, the fact that when you live rural like this and you're on a homestead, if that's pretty much what you're doing with your time, then you don't really need a huge array of clothes. So it's probably not as big of a deal. So yeah, it does look like they are able to hang some clothes there. I think honestly, I like this layout a lot. I think, yeah, my biggest hiccup also is the washer dryer situation under the house. I think you could have brought that on the main floor. I think you probably could have somehow. But that's kind of my only thing with it. I love all the wood here. Really cute, and definitely one of those spaces that is like perfect for the people that own it. So that's it. That's all.